That's okay.
Okay.
I'm not very important. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's watch the first one. Here we go.
So, you have to break up with Pat.
I have to break up with, no, I don't have to break, I am not breaking up with Pat.
No, you cannot do this to history.
What?
Okay, so stop.
What is history?
So one of the things that I see is he gave himself an opening beat, but it's kind of a passive one, you know, the unbuttoning. If he was coming from a little more of a frustration, then maybe he would do something a little bigger that might be kind of fun. What could he do? What kinds of things are possible for an opening beat here? Yeah. He could be taking off his glasses. That's good, you know, or trying to clean them and fumbling with them, things that cause trouble. Trying to take off a boot, maybe there's horse poop in it, shaking that off. Things that are problems, you know. Give yourself, get caught up maybe in the shirt so you're in an awkward position. And then you have to talk to him in the awkward position because you got stuck there. Those are great ways to set yourself up so that we're in the world of comedy. I know I'm pushing you a little towards sitcom there, but try those at home and then find out where if it's truthful, that's all it has to be. So then find out where the truth is in that problem. So the great thing as your own coach is to really give yourself great physical setups so that then you don't have to make anything happen. It happens to you. All right. And he did a repetition phrase, but he took the big beat first, right? And that's very typical, apparently. Go ahead.
Oh, history is what made everything we know. Would you rather be stuck in the past? Because it sucks.
It doesn't suck. You suck at being here.
Well, yeah.
Okay, stop. So Zach is also, hi Zach, he's also, he's on the camera, looking down. You're not trusting the listening, which I think I take your script, I'm not sure, but we will see.
Okay, here in 2016, your only possession is a bag full of dead squirrels.
That was a gift. That's what that was.
Basic. You are addicted
Stop.
to time.
So he did a little bit of faking, he changed the line a little bit. But did you get a sense that he was rewriting on purpose, that he went home and figured out a better line? No. It was just in that moment he knew he was a little off, and so he let himself get back into his own rhythm. That's awesome. Do that. That's fine. Okay. Sorry.
Maybe I was, but that is all in the past. Okay. I mean, you're right. All I wanted was to time travel, but it turns out there's no future. Okay, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
You mean you
Stop.
stay.
Okay, so that's one way to do it. I think he's making the guy a little bit smart, and I wouldn't do it because I think it's almost too close to what Chris does, and he's stealing the joke from me. So you kind of got to be aware of that stuff. Even though it's funny, you can't steal it from the other lead. Okay.
1775.
I have no idea what it's like to walk into every room and be the smartest guy. But no one wants to, like you because you're not cool enough. Oh, what?
You went through trouble to get away.
Stop. Has he been shot in the shoulder? I think he thinks he got the arrow or something. But he actually, I know. He probably really hurt because he just got back from Germany and rode a motorcycle on the Autobahn and crashed and had surgery in Germany and got stuck there for a while, which is why he's missed so much class. Yeah, so maybe that was real. Ignore that. Going on.
I'm not getting away. I am in love.
Oh,
Stop. So did you see, by the way, the earlier bit where he did find some heart there, right? So it isn't just that always tit for tat. He did find that heart. You saw it in the beat where I talked about his shoulder. Okay. And then here too a little bit.
See what happens?
Yeah, well, I caught it.
Come on. Pat is brilliant and she's sexy.
Actually likes you.
Actually doesn't deserve to be shot.
Stop. That was nailed. Did you get the actuallys? Did everybody see that? Yeah. So that idea of don't have to wait for me to finish my sentence. It works better that way. He's going into that paper way too much. He's missing the reactions. He's missing the reactions that off of me. And again, that it factor. Oh, they have chemistry. What's chemistry? Chemistry is just listening and reacting. Oh, that acting thing. Crazy.
You said if we don't stop the wedding, it's going to happen.
That's destiny. We need Deborah get through here to start the war.
Look, he doesn't need to meet her at their wedding. He can meet her at our wedding. Or somewhere else, but...
Okay. You need to go live the life.
He's just using his own way, that's kind of his funny. And he might have missed my way of doing that, but I might, if we cast him, go, that works. And my thing was you wouldn't want to say that out loud, but maybe in this case, okay, you didn't say what I thought you'd say there, so there is the conflict, and that's what makes things so funny. Okay, great.
Putting the whole world at risk.
Oh, maybe America would be better under British rule. Maybe I'm improving the future. You don't know.
Yeah, that's just the point. We don't know. That's why we time travel home tomorrow.
If you want to time travel, you throw a clock.
Straight to his paper. I'm going to kill him. I have to take it. I hope I take it.
Look, I am not leaving, okay? Meeting Pat has been life-changing.
Now that
I don't take it.
Look, I am not.
Does he go again? I just feel like... Yeah. I made him go again. So this is not the right one, but I guess I'll critique you later because I don't want to make... Well, should we watch it or should we just move on? Let's just move on. Move on. He's a lot better in this one. I take the script away and suddenly he's very funny. All right, that's all.
We can watch it if everyone.
Nah, well.
I feel bad that we are not watching his thing.
Well, it's not like I'll never watch it. I'll Skype with him. Do you want to watch it? We'll pick it up halfway through. Good call. Come from... Oh, let me help you. About to. All right, so go like there, yeah. All right, go.
What it's like being the smartest person in every...
Oh, he got his shirt off this time.
Because you're not cool enough.
Move your...
Oh, what is so funny?
What? You are using time travel to get laid.
I'm not
There.
trying to get laid.
He's listening now.
Oh, if you love Pat, then you will go back to 2016.
See? What happened?
Yeah, well, I caught it.
He's still looking.
Come on. She's sexy, she's brilliant, and
She actually likes you.
actually she doesn't deserve to be shot, which is what you said would happen if we don't stop the wedding.
Good or bad, that is destiny. Meeting Deborah gets her here to start the war.
It doesn't, he doesn't need to meet her at their wedding. He can meet her at our wedding. Or some other place, but...
Okay, all right. You need to live the life you're supposed to instead of putting the whole world at risk.
Oh, maybe America would be better under British rule. I mean, maybe I'm improving the future. You don't know.
Yeah, well, that's just it. We don't know. That's why we time travel home tomorrow.
You want to time travel? Throw a clock. Okay?
Really?
Really? Yeah. I'm not thinking. Okay? Meeting Pat has been life-changing.
That is what, hey, that's what I'm afraid of.
Hey, I'm not a selfish jerk. With your knowledge
There, I took
of the
it.
past, we can make history,
Yes.
right?
Well, you are.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I am not a selfish jerk. Listen, I do love history. I invited you into the past, and I have not heard you even say thank you.
Thank you! For what? This is nothing fun.
I mean, the only thing that has happened to you is you got kicked off, okay? And you got bed bugs, and you got poison ivy, and you got shot by an arrow. And they kind of treated you like a slave and a Dutch imbecile. Okay. Handcuffs, you're in.
Thank you!
Gosh, I am sorry that you don't fit in the past. Now you know how I feel in the present. Let's go to bed. I mean... You haven't even offered once to pay for anything.
Fine. What do I need?
Well, let me think. Lunch, dinner, hotel how...
He's adorable!
28 cents.
And if he had my face, he could have given me that look, but we get to see something. Yeah. So it's okay. Now, are you not going to call him back because he was, not saying exactly every line? Are you kidding me? Of course you're going to call him back because he has, okay, we'll make it for that kind of guy. Did everybody know Bob Newhart? There's kind of that feeling about it. And hopefully at a callback, maybe he does stick closer to things, but I think he was pretty close. He likes to throw those little handles on. That's his bit. So you're going to hire him for that, and that's great. It's what he has to offer. So very nice, and we can talk about the whole thing together. All right. Now for something completely different. So Kevin showed up and he said, I don't really want to do it. And I said, at least do half of it, at least a page. And he did like half of it. I think he did 2 pages of it, which is probably more than half. And you did some real quick history. I said, you have 10 minutes, use it. So 5 minutes, you can get 2 pieces of history done. Go do something. What did you do?
I just went over the questions and said, see who I was and why am I who I am. And then I went over the last question of what did I do to prepare here? What was I, driving over here?
So what I hear you say is you asked yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? That's who I am, I guess. And why am I feeling what I'm feeling? And then you looked for, okay, driving over here, what am I doing? So I'm warming up because I'm about to go in. And if they call my name, and what am I doing out there? Okay, great. Let's watch for that.
Break up a pact.
I have to break up a path?
Do you have to leave this bar here?
I don't have to break up a path.
You cannot do this to history.
What has history ever done for me?
History is made everything we know. Would you rather be stuck in the past? Because it sucks.
No, it doesn't suck. You just suck being here.
Stop!
Yeah, I can see why you want to be here. In 2016.
Stop! She commands, I know, but when I do this, it's anticlimactic. That was great. I'm seeing the very first line, you didn't listen, you looked for it. But right after that, you listened and you generated that, and it came out of this moment in our relationship. It was fantastic. More like that. If you want to watch this again after we're done, do that to see what you did in the very first line, what you did in the second line. More like the second line. Okay.
In 2016, your only property is a bag of dead squirrels.
They were a gift.
Get the sense he's told me over and over?
Time travel.
Maybe you're right. But, maybe you're right, but that's all in the past. I mean, you're right. All I want to do is time travel, but that's all in the past now because there's no future in it. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Stop. So you said some funny stuff, but you missed your own jokes. But I know you're very caught up in stuff right now. You're like, I didn't have time to figure all that out. But right there, if you'd have noticed the way I was looking at you for saying those things, it might have dawned on you. Just the way it dawns on the character.
75.
Do you know what it's like walking in every room being the smartest person? It's just... no one likes you just because
Stop.
you're too cool.
There's a joke there that you ran over because you said, do you know what it's like, as opposed to you don't know what it's like to walk into a room and be the smartest person. And then you're not cool, right? There could be a little fun there. You know what? When the fun is because it causes a reaction on the other side, those are jokes. It's okay if you're gonna skip a joke, because the payoff doesn't ever happen. Those are really hard things to do. But if you go ahead and do them because you get it, it may not feel good because you won't see the payoff, but just know that that is the way it goes, and let the character just organically hit those things out of a reason and then move on out of a reason. Don't worry that there's not going to be the big laugh. Because sometimes that throws people, especially at screen tests. They're like, I know that's a joke and I didn't get the laugh. Well, you can't. It's not your joke. You're just a setup person. But it's nice to see you set something up, but not watch me set this joke up. Okay, good.
What? You're using time travel to get laid.
I'm not trying to get laid. I
love Pat.
Oh, well, if you love Pat, then you would go back to the 2016.
Come on. What just happened?
What just happened?
Come on. Pat's pretty. She's brilliant. She's everything.
Yeah, she actually likes you.
She actually doesn't want to get shot, which would happen if you said she doesn't get married.
This is good, Kevin.
Destiny, good or bad. Meeting Deborah gets her here to start the war.
So,
And cut.
And cut. That's when he just really didn't have any idea where he was going. So one of the things that saved you was knowing what you wanted, like why you were there, what you were after. Those things and listening to me helped you get the next kind of bubble. What do I mean by bubble? Help me out, Hessen.
Bubble.
Picture.
The overall picture and then each thought bubble. I call them bubbles because it's like a thought bubble. Like I think this idea and I try it, then that doesn't work. Then I think this idea and I try it. Then I think this idea. It's kind of like units a little ways, but you have to kind of know what he said causes what thought bubble. And then I don't care if you're verbatim, as you can tell. I don't care if you're verbatim, but I care that it triggers the right thought pattern, the path. Okay. Next person. Yay! Now she does something really smart right there. She goes ahead and dresses, so she's got stuff to undress. Here we go.
No, you have to break up with Pat. I have to break up with Pat? Yeah. I have to break up with Pat. You can say this to history. What has history ever done for me? History is what everything we know is made from. God, would you rather be stuck in the past because it sucks? It doesn't suck. You just suck being here.
Good. So what's in it for you, this coat? What's in it for you, having a coat on and having to get it off? One thing that's kind of cool is it does cause the trouble of having to take it off. And that kind of business does make you feel like you're really somewhere instead of floating in the great audition vastness. But could you find, as you untwirl this thing, stuff that is problems? So that then, so you're trying to talk to him while you're trying to untwirl too. I want your eye contact, but, and if you could get the coat somewhere where you get stuck in the coat, not that, you want to make a whole meal out of that, but find something, even if it's to take a shoe off at some point and where you're going to say, well, you're a dick. And right then you knock poop off or, I don't know what the lines really are, where that would be available. But look and say, if they're getting undressed, what's in it? Where can I communicate how I'm feeling while I'm getting undressed? How can I use this stuff? Otherwise, the casting director is going to say, yeah, and don't worry about that undressing thing. We know you can get undressed. They love to say that. We know you can X, Y, Z. Well, no, you don't. You don't know how it communicates. Watch what happens, how I've set myself up.
Want to be here. In 2016, the only possession you have is a bag full of dead squirrels. They were a gift. Face it. You are addicted to time travel. Maybe I was. But that's all in the past. I mean, really? Yes.
Sorry.
All I ever wanted to do was time travel. But turns out there's no future in it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Stop. I was trying to help you out with my little, do you hear yourselves? Instead I threw you and you're like, is that line in there? Sorry.
275. You have no idea what it's like being the smartest person in every room you enter.
Nice
But
transition.
who cares? Because you're not cool enough. What? You're using time travel to get laid. I am not getting laid. I am in love. If you loved Pat,
So you're really using time travel to get laid?
That's why I definitely getting laid for the first time. It's awesome.
Okay, that can play. I didn't see it that way because I thought that would undermine the fact that you're really in love.
I agree.
But you're good. You played it very accurately. I got it.
2016. See what happens here? Well, I caught it. Come on. Pat is brilliant and sexy.
Stop. So after I said I caught it, we had that great. Well, I did this, and I thought my delivery was damn fine too, and I got nothing from you, right? So don't dive to see what the next beat is. Play that out. Remember we talked about that. We got to get all three pieces: the reaction to me, then where do I want to go next, then the reaction to what I think I'm going to say, and the decision of what to start with, and then speak.
Right.
So don't worry. That's more fun than you getting to that line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't deserve to get shot, which is what's going to happen if we don't stop that winning. That's good or bad, that's destiny.
Nice,
Maybe
nice.
Deborah gets Rugier to start the war. He doesn't have to meet Deborah at their wedding. He can meet her at our wedding. Or some other place. Okay.
So find the conflict there so the comedy's there.
Yeah, I didn't get that joke.
Yeah.
I didn't get it either.
The threesome missed it.
I was very confident with that one. It's like, go somewhere else. Like, that's how I
Or
read it.
somewhere else. Just, yeah.
I did not get it
It's
at all.
funnier the way you say it.
It's
Like,
totally funny.
if it
Look
slips
for
out
those.
And you're like,
Yeah.
I need to say it.
Yeah.
Look for these problems. Make sure you're putting problems out there that you have to react to as opposed to making everything work for you.
Right. Yeah.
Go back to the life you're supposed to live instead of putting the whole world at risk. Maybe I'm
Nice.
Maybe I'm improving the future. You don't know. Yeah, well, that's the point. We don't know. That is why we are going to time travel home tomorrow. You want time travel? 12 o'clock. Really? I'm not leaving.
Again,
you're
you tell me that you're never cool, but you're the one who's always cool here. Like, even when I go, really? You're like, I'm okay. Yeah, exactly. Get more neurotic or you're going to have to play Chris.
Yeah.
changing. That is what I'm afraid of. I am not.
Good reaction.
Chris.
Good moving there. Yes.
With your knowledge,
Yes.
we can make history, right? Oh, you are a selfish jerk. I'm selfish? You teach history.
Stop. Wrong. You're a selfish jerk. And you went to, I'm selfish? That sort of, that coming up on it is the reaction that generates I'm selfish.
Right.
What's missing? You're a selfish jerk. After you said, Chris,
Yeah.
this is the most brilliant idea ever. Open up my underbelly. See me. And I say, you're a selfish jerk.
Right.
I'm missing the,
the hurt.
yeah, the,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the thinking where to go with it. And now I'm selfish.
Yes.
Right? Then generating that. So we're missing the back end. Okay.
In time. And you haven't even said thank you.
Good. Good.
This has not been fun. Oh, all that's
Good.
happened to you is you got puked on. Okay, and you got bed bugs, and poison ivy, shot by an arrow, treated like a slave, and that's just a soul. Dead.
You know, stop. I kept waiting for somebody. That was good with the Dutch imbecile because clearly the worst thing in that group is the slave. And then we've got this Dutch imbecile. I'm like, what's happening? And then I thought, oh yeah, because he's really bad at stuff and speaking and doesn't know. But then I thought, if I'm like, and you're treated like a slave and a Dutch imbecile. So there's that, which is better. You know, trying to make up for, I thought somebody would try that one, but yours was good. All right.
Well, sorry you don't fit in the past.
Get
Now
Skype
you know how
out.
I feel in the present.
Why is Skype there? Stop. Yes. She takes this sitting. It lets the air come back out. It lets the beat go the way the script was intended, of that the scene is over, curtain down, black, and then we hear the voices.
I haven't even offered to pay for anything since we got here. Fine, what do I owe you? Lunch, dinner, hotel, horse rental. Like 28 cents.
Cut. So you nailed it with that first part where you're like, I'm pouting because of this. But once you've played that note, don't keep pouting. Lunch, dinner, you've already played it and you've already changed because you wanted something from me and you got it. So now capitalize on it. Okay, so yeah, I'm right about that. Well, there's this, there's that, there's that, there's this, there's that. It's like this much, sucker. Okay, that's not much. Right? So we need you to change because sometimes we find as actors, a note works for the comedy, we keep doing it. As opposed to when you get something, when you try something and you see a different reaction over there, you're now going to capitalize on that. You would change tactics to do so. You would pout more. You would get wherever, but it would not be the same exact thing. Only actors do it because, oh, I'm going to do that again. That worked. Exactly the same. All right. Good. Do you have any questions?
No, I know, right. I needed more time, and I would work on the physicality of all this stuff.
Yeah.
More.
And you set yourself up great to a point. I think there's that more. And find more problems. Find more problems. So there's conflict internal as well as external. You can go with petticoats and all kinds of issues if you can find things and can't reach.
Yeah.
All of that. I don't know what's there, but you could just play with it and come back. Okay, good. We'll remember it later. Okay.
You have to break up with Pat.
I have to break up a pact?
Stop. How's this opening beat? You're just staring at me. You got a hat on. I thought, oh, good. He's going to take the hat on and throw it down, or I'm not going to, something. So, never, ever, ever again, from this day forward, have no opening beat. Yeah, you could have an audition with that. You absolutely could. That is not the topic. What are we talking about? And what are the three things an opening beat has? It's a transition. So it has physical change, emotional change, and intellectual change. So all you had was intellectual change. And who gave it to you? The writer. So you brought nothing. Please, you're so funny. You're so good. I worked with you on privates this week, and he's so funny, and he's so funny. So please bring it. Bring it. You're withholding. You've got talent, and you're withholding. Stop. He doesn't know his lines because he's had like 3 freaking auditions this week, but who hasn't, right? And everybody's so busy. If you're going to get out here, don't get the lines right. Have physicality, because anything you do comes from you. It comes from your version of this character. So make sure you always have an opening beat. Once you give yourself an opening beat, this amazing thing happens. You open up space for yourself to move physically. Once you start, and all you start with words, a different amazing thing happens. You're stuck there. You haven't broken like out of the mud or whatever that's crusting you, that's holding you down. If you go ahead and you take that stab, you jump off that ledge, and you have your opening beat, and you go, ah! I have to break up with Pat. I'm not breaking up with Pat. I'm not breaking up with Pat. Because there's bed bugs everywhere. So, I don't know. Suddenly, I've opened up this space where I feel like now I can move. Because I've already done it and I didn't blow up. And nobody yelled, cut, what are you doing? Maybe they should have. I've just ruined my hair.
No, your hair looks good.
Okay, thank you. All right. So if I beat you up enough, you will give me an opening beat, yes?
I'm not going to break up with Pat.
You cannot do this to history.
What has history ever done for me?
What? History is what made everything we know. Would you rather be stuck in the past? Huh? Because it sucks.
It does not suck. You just suck at being here.
Oh, well, yeah. I can understand why you want to be here. 2016, your only possession is a bag full of dead squirrels.
It was a gift.
Stop. So you're getting to it was a gift. Well, although you might have, because a bag of dead squirrels takes me a while to get to. But I need to have, same note that I gave to Alicia, I need to have your reaction to what I said before you get to your reaction that generates what you say. Okay? And you did it so great before. What was his first one? I don't remember the lines. But he looked away and came back, and then he spoke, and we all laughed because we saw you react to the thing first. So stay in reaction. Yes. Okay.
Addicted to time travel.
No, I'm not.
You're so ready for that. But I don't see you think about it beforehand.
That is all in the past.
Really?
I mean, you're right. Maybe I was addicted to time travel, but there's no future in it.
You kill your own joke looking down. There's no future in it. At least just stay there and have a reaction to the fact that you just said there's no future in it and we're in the past and they're going to go to the... Okay.
Yeah, you mean you want to stay in 17...
Did I take your script?
You have
Oh,
no
good.
idea what it's like.
Good, Crystal. Now let's know, stop. So let's know that I just took a script, and let's watch if the scene gets worse or if the scene gets better. Because he thinks, as we all think, I think, when you take my script, I'm done. I think it's going to get way worse. But reality sometimes...
Right after this, because you started laughing forever, and I never cut you off and said what. So I think that's when you took it.
Yeah, then I had enough. All right, here we go.
In that room, and not being accepted because I'm not cool. What?
I want to get laid.
I'm not getting laid. That's not what I'm using it for. I'm in love.
If you were in love, then you would go back to the 2016.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
Because
And besides, did you notice? I caught that. So you think you're the smartest guy in the room? This girl actually likes you. That's all it comes down to. She actually...
no, she doesn't just actually like me. She's beautiful, she's smart, she's
She actually
intelligent,
likes you.
and she doesn't deserve what's about to come. She doesn't deserve to die.
Like it or
What's
not.
gonna happen? You said she's gonna get shot if she goes in this way.
Good or bad, that is her destiny, okay?
No,
we
it's
need no,
not.
Dad needs to meet Thor's beer to start the war.
She can meet her at my wedding or someplace else.
You're, okay, wait. You just need to live the life you're supposed to live instead of screwing over the entire fucking world.
Well, maybe America should be better under British rule. Who knows? The future could be better off.
Yeah, who knows? We don't know. That's
Sorry.
why we are time traveling home tomorrow.
I'll say right here.
No, you're not. No.
You're just mad because you suck at being here.
I'm mad because you find this life-changing, and that is what I'm afraid of.
I mean, come on, what's the worst that's happened to you since you've been here?
You're a selfish
You know,
jerk.
I'm not selfish.
Oh.
I am not selfish. The worst thing that's happened to you since you've been here is you got peed on.
Peter!
And got bugs and poison ivy, and you could get shot by an arrow.
He saw it.
Come on.
That's a reaction.
Cops pee. Look now. You're a history teacher, and I brought you to class. You haven't even said thank you.
Thank you.
You
Thank you
haven't
for
offered to pay for a single thing.
This is not fun.
This is amazing. You haven't offered to pay for anything since we've been here this entire time. You owe me a hotel. You owe me a horse carriage. You owe me... That was about 28 cents.
And cut. Okay. So how does he get further in his auditions? Does he get further not knowing the script but being in character and really trying to fight with the other character, listening and reacting? Or should he come in and make sure he gets all the lines right and plays all the beats right? The second one, listening and reacting. Weren't you seeing Matt Damon all of a sudden? Like all of a sudden you went, this guy, right? So much. So now I get a flavor of when he is this character, if that's what I'm going to get. That's his sensibility, that's his sense of timing, that's how he's going to play it. And now I know whether I want that to be in my guy. And there's 100 different ways my guy can be. But I got to pick the ones that kind of go together and look good together and, play off of each other. But that is going to be so much more insightful and truer and much more positive for both of us than him coming in and saying all the lines a certain way. I don't leave knowing how he is as this guy, once he gets comfortable or whatever. And the neat thing is while you may not book that job, you are failing in a way where you are charming people. Because people will say, yeah, he needs to be more off book. Yeah, he needs to know his lines better, which they won't say once you at least know the bubbles, you know. Then you're going to get close enough. And then nobody really cares after that because they cannot pay for that God-given instinct, those thoughts, that the vulnerability you have, the charm you have, all of those things that show up that is so valuable, so valuable to every producer out there and every director out there. So error in the way that brings that out. Don't error in the way that shows them what they already know about their material. Blah, blah. Because you're not doing great with that anyway. Do great with you. Nobody can beat you. Nobody. So fail over there. You had an audition, a couple of them this week. Did you apply any of this? How did that change or did it? And be mean. Go ahead. Be whatever you think.
I mean, the first one, sent me the homework, did it, coached with you, same day. And I felt like it totally took me to a whole nother level because there was a lot of things I wouldn't have done.
And did you feel like you were there, like you were more grounded and connected? You knew the environment?
I sat down with the chair, turned it, so like I was actually facing the passenger.
You got in the car, you didn't have the passenger on the hood.
Things that I
Good.
wouldn't naturally done in an audition.
And they make you feel more like you're there.
Yeah.
And nothing blew up, like nobody threw anything at you or anything because you touched a chair. They loved it. Yeah, that's great. And you're not going to book every single thing you go out on, but you're going to make fans. And that builds a career. And you're going to be in integrity with who you say you are as an actor so that casting directors start to trust that integrity. Every time you guys come in, we can count on you to not maybe book the part or be perfect for the role or be taller or shorter or fatter or funnier or whatever, but we can trust you that we're going to get truth. And that I will keep calling you back in until your truth matches up with the character's truth, which it will, the better you get at doing history. You know, otherwise all you get to do is play you, pretty much. And people fall into, you know, roles where they get to do that, and that's great. And then they go off and teach acting, and they tell you, just go and just, you know, pull from yourself, or whatever. And that's all you can ever play then. But no, do this history work, and more your truth will line up with it, and you will book a lot more. Your ratio will go up. And again, you can't worry about that. You have to worry about being a master at your craft, being the best actor you can be, and doing the work that makes you a human being, the image work that makes you be this person, so that you can listen and react in all of this wonderful charm and vulnerability. You really have a nice vulnerability about you that's just really charming. You're very compelling. But when you're doing your other stuff, when you're trying to be the script, not so much. It doesn't work for you. Some people are really good at it, are really good at faking feeling stuff and making it all work and playing, you know, they calculate it out every breath just because they're really fast thinkers. They're just directors by nature, and they make sure. And those people are harder to get to do my work because they'll book, you know, they'll have success with it. And especially auditions, because auditions, you know, we haven't put you in a place where you're listening and reacting. So, but then what happens is the show doesn't go because the ensemble isn't clicking, because the chemistry isn't there, because you're not really listening and reacting and being 100% the human being God made you if you'd had this history and if you were in this relationship and wanted this thing. And so then we have trouble with these poor writers who've written this brilliant work, and these directors and all the crew and the producers and everybody who's got work finally, and it all goes down the tubes because of that. So they're getting really, somebody just got an audition and the email said, we're going to give you a basic outline of the way the scene goes, and some lines we want you to say. Can you sort of make the character happen inside of that? Yeah, it's not even that untypical in Europe. I see it more there than I see it here. But that's coming over because we have to know, are you thinking in character, or have some coach coached you to get you to say these things, sort of like you coach a little kid, you know, and that's all they can do because they've memorized how to do that. And you move into the next thing and they're really at a loss because they don't know why they're doing what they're doing or why they're feeling what they're feeling. But if I have you improv and I don't write it out for you, there's a little bit of a safety net in that. The scary part is sometimes it's hard to get the Europeans ever, especially those Germans, to come back to the script. They're like, and I'll just improv, and then it was my birthday, what? Okay. So I can't say enough that in the next audition you went on to, too, I know you emailed me that I think you got a callback.
I got 2 callbacks.
2 callbacks, yeah. So that's awesome. And that's, and that's changed. Like, that wasn't happening before. So keep, look at where you've come. And you may say, well, I didn't come very far. I've got a long way to go. But that's a huge obstacle you overcame. To let me take your script and let go of the grip and to laugh and keep going. Just work like that all the time. You're going to be a huge star if you can do that. If you can think in character and not worry about what the character says. And the only way to do that is to figure out what they want, why they want it, what they've been through, and listen. Listen. And let yourself, it's going to feel funny in a certain way. It's going to feel like I didn't do anything. Has anybody had that? I remember one of my pilot auditions that I went on, I remember walking out and going, I bet I really bombed that pilot because I didn't feel like I did anything. Oh, I've heard you say that. Yeah. But that's because listening and reacting does you. There's not a lot for you to do. You do your homework and you listen and react. It feels like you're just kind of floating along. It's like unfolding for you. That's a great feeling. Like, don't fall in love with that either. Stay in character. But when you're done, let yourself know that that's good acting. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything. And you might have pictures, there's sometimes where an image will hit you and you'll cry and you'll get done and you'll know, oh, that went somewhere that was really truthful and really deep, and you may think that felt like doing something, but if you really look at it, that did you too. It was just a deeper thing. But that does you. Acting does you. You don't act. Please. No acting, please, to quote Eric Morris. All right.
You have to break up with Pat. I have to break up with Pat. I'm not going to break up with Pat. I don't have to break up with Pat. You cannot do this to history. What does history done mean? Okay, history is what everything is made of that we know. Okay, it's. Would you like me stuck in the past? Because that sucks. It doesn't suck. You're the one who sucks being here. Oh,
Stop.
Yeah, well, of course you.
So, same thing about your coat. It doesn't seem to matter, and it's also a very quiet, passive thing to do. And so if you were like mad at me and you were trying to maybe unzip it and it was, and you're just pissed, and then you're trying to cover up that you're mad at me, and then finally you give up on it, that might be something in it for you. But find something that helps you out. Find something that does something for you. Otherwise, casting's right. We know you can unzip your coat. Don't bother. It appears to be one more problem to your knowing all your lines and listening and all the things that the lowest brow people think that acting is. So we believe that by taking those things away from you, we're going to make the acting better. So don't show us anything. Set yourself up well so that those things matter.
Stage here. In 2016, your own possession is a bag full of dead squirrels. It was a gift.
Okay, good. So up to now, what I'm getting from you is that you're pretty grounded. Yeah. So again, I know you to be neurotic. So go ahead and tap into that side of. There you go. Right. So let this out. Where is that stuff? It's the best laugh. She just guffaws. And to see an Asian do that is so funny anyway. Was that racist? So I just think you're so funny. But we don't get your personality. It's again, you're withholding on your personality. Okay.
Take it to time.
That was good.
Well, maybe I was, but it was, that's all I wanted to do, but that's in the past. And
good. So comedy doesn't mean talking fast, because a little bit I'm not understanding you. Yes. So it means thinking fast and being revved up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to talk fast. You just have to be revved up, high stakes. Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to time travel, but now I realize there's no future in it. You know what I mean?
Good. So don't play it off of yourself, right? You knew what that was and you did it. But you weren't in reaction to me. Therefore, you cannot guess God's timing. You cannot guess how boom, boom, boom. You'll miss every time because we're not perfect puppeters. So just tune in and you'll feel it. Even if the casting director is staring at you like you're a dork face for looking at her, you'll get something. You'll get that. And that's more important than this timing that you're going to miss. Okay.
You want to stay in 1775. You have no idea what it is to walk in every room and be the smartest person there, and no one cares because you're not cool enough. What? You time travel to get laid. I'm not getting laid. I'm in love.
That's great.
And you would go back to the wedding scene when I'm a little iPod. Come on. Pat is brilliant and sexy.
Stop! That worked! That really worked right there. You found it, and then you were playing with me. So it's that relationship and that playing together. So what happens that in drama you will listen to me, but in comedy you go internal and you're doing machinations, you're working things out.
Yeah.
What happens?
I think I freak out.
Yes, you tell yourself, I'm bad at comedy.
Yeah. I'm like Helena. I feel exactly the same way.
Oh, Helena. So is that why she's not here? No, she's got 2 auditions.
She said, I'm like, that's how I feel.
Right.
I suck at comedy.
So fall into that, right? I suck at comedy, so I'm just going to listen and let myself be neurotic. Because the more you resist, I suck at comedy, I'm going to hold on to it better. I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to make it work. The worse it is. So find for yourself you when you're neurotic. That's it. Just you when you're neurotic. Give yourself whatever it takes to get you a little bit neurotic about this. Maybe just walk around for a second. I know that works for me sometimes. Just like being the way I'm being right now, I just walk around for a second going, oh my God, and I just talk like an idiot, and then I start to get that feeling. You know how we're meaning-making machines. If I do something on the outside, the inside of me starts to justify it. That's why if you walk around all day and you have your shoulders rolled forward and your eyes slightly down, your mind will go, oh, okay, well, let me throw some reasons why we look this way. You're going to justify everything, and you're going to find lots of reasons why life sucks. So whenever I find myself, I just put my shoulders back, and right before I teach this class, sometimes I do this. I haven't told you guys this, and I really wanted to. That's not funny. Okay, but psychologists tell us, and this has been a recent...
I do this too. I do.
See?
I swear to God, I do.
Thank you. So it's a recent thing. Thank you back there. Stand up, everybody. Do this. We have found out that your, what's that reptilian brain way back there? Starts to feel 2 things when you do this. 1, connected to some universal stream of knowledge out there that seems to be flowing. And big. You will see animals puff up to be big. It makes you feel strong. So right before I start class and I go, oh, I just can't do this. I feel strong. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I have to do whatever. I have to edit this scene and my technology doesn't work. I just get up and I do this. And they had people doing it for 2 minutes and found that they did better. They gave them a really, really hard test. And people did better on the hard test. So they kept shortening the amount of time that they had them do this to see what would make a difference. 15 seconds.
Wow.
So if you can manage to do it for 2 minutes, do that.
I know everybody in the lobby.
Yeah. But it's a really great space. If you feel like... Yeah, it's the Crystal Carson move. If you feel like... I'm about to approach this audition and it's comedy and I'm afraid of comedy and I know what I want to do is listen and react, but I'm afraid of that I won't be funny and I want to be funny, and then walk around and be an idiot for a second. But right before you work on your sides, take your space, get strong, say, I can do this. Everybody always feels like they're not good enough, that that the world's going to find out today that I'm a fraud and I have no idea. So you just, right? So just know it's everybody and get that reptilian brain to help you out. It's one more thing to get rid of nerves.
Yeah.
There's a TED Talk about it!
Send it to the
Yeah.
I'll email it to everyone, I guess.
Especially me.
I don't know.
Okay, and me, and you. Yeah, what's a TED Talk? Seriously.
I gotta find it. I forgot what it's called, but it's.
Oh, you know what a TED Talk is, okay.
Oh, what's a TED Talk?
No, yeah, like the topic, like it's basically what she just said, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But they probably give you more of science.
Well, it's like, people before big meetings that are nervous, there's a superhero stance.
Yes, this is another one, but this is more powerful.
You feel more confident. Like if you just stand outside like this is very like sexy,
Before you're
confident. Like you'll feel more confident. So, I don't know, I'll send it to you.
But it's so, yeah, armpit. Oh. But it's really true. Those things, we are animals, and when we tap into that, that just supports us. All right. So there's a nice.
Now that we started this, why don't I just stop this now and then we'll restart it?
Okay. Do we need to do that?
In 7 minutes, we just wait till.
Yeah. I take forever. No stop.
Stop it.